Hello, all, and welcome to another feelings check-in. I feel like I haven't done these in a minute. Please enjoy the sound of the water and please enjoy the sound of my voice. I do these on the weekly, or I try to do them weekly, where I do a feelings check-in. I call these feelings check-ins, but they can be more conversational, more topical, and this one's more going to be more conversational, just doing a general check-in. So I'm hoping that this encourages people and um, can provide some sense of comfort to anyone going through the same thing. So I play games, I do videos, post every day, if not every other day, of me talking about mental health and ADHD since I have it and it's affected my life in not the best way. And I work in mental health, so I have some background in it, and am getting a MSW. But that's neither here nor there. Um, so how this will work is I'm gonna do a check-in on a few things, like an ADHD check-in, a life check-in, emotional check-in, mental check-in, spiritual check-in, with some things sprinkled in. So here we go. So I guess first thing, I kind of want to start on a positive because this life has been kind of in and out. Like I've kind of been in a numb space, and I'll talk more about that. I've talked about that in my other videos, like told stories about it, but I'll kind of condense it here in a fast-paced way. So one good thing is let's start with an ADHD check-in. So last week I was not doing well. I was emotionally flat, like just not motivated at all. And some of that was my fault because I hadn't been exercising, hadn't been doing good eating or, protein stacking. So it's really hard to pick yourself back up and go like, okay, I'm going to pick myself back up. I'm going to exercise and I'm going to drink, protein stack. So, eating things with high protein in it and prioritizing that. And I will say so far that's been really good. I have learned I am not the kind of person that can go without exercise. I cannot go without eating, substantial protein, or my energy levels will suffer. So my energy levels have definitely been better. I'm going to I've just been doing, like, I'll be honest, I've just been doing 10 minutes on the treadmill every day, but it just makes such a huge difference in kind of physical activity. So please prioritize physical activity. I know I have to, or it will affect my work life. It will affect me emotionally and mood wise. And so I'm a big on like ruling out, you know, those things like eating, exercising, just to um, figure out what the root of the issue is. So yeah, ADHD check-in is has been going super well. I have three goals during the day, and that's to exercise, maintain financial stability, which hasn't been going well, and I'll talk about that later. Um, and maintain financial stability by not eating out and like eating in, and keeping my room clean. So like throwing the trash away daily, and that's been going well because this weekend I kind of did a whole cleanup, and that's how I cope. That's how I cope with my ADHD. Generally, I'll just do a sprint. Like my medications do help, but I'll do like an ADHD sprint. Like I'll like get on top of cleaning again, exercising, all the good stuff, doing self-care things so that I can start this week off on a fresh note. And it's been really good. Like it has been a fresh start so far. So I want to keep that up and keep that going. Exercise today, throw my trash away because it's really important to keep your room clean because you're in your room every day, you're in your space every day, and that's something that took me until I was 30 to finally realize, like, okay, as a 30-year-old lady, like, it took me that long to realize, okay, I've got to prioritize this. It really affects my mental health. I'm here all the time. I'm looking at the room, and if I look at the room and it's messy, then my brain goes, oh, my life's chaotic. Like, that's literally what happens. And I didn't connect the two things until later. I'm like, I have to clean my room. I have to keep it clean so I can keep some mental stability. It doesn't cure everything, but it really helps. So Yeah, ADHD check-in wise, I think it's going pretty well. Like, things are pretty stable regarding trying to stay on top of things. Um, and I say pretty stable, it's not perfect. Bills aren't perfect, money isn't perfect, but regarding the goals, the three goals I set and I'm trying to focus on, um, it's going well, and I want to get to the point where one day I just do those things seamlessly. Like I exercise, I eat at home and make food at home, I throw in my trash with no issue, and that's my goal. And I know I've had these goals for a while now, and people are like, when are you going to achieve them? They're very simple. But when you have ADHD, it's not so simple. Um, I have mood changes and ups and downs and things. I'm trying to be consistent with life and things despite how I feel, which is really, really hard. And when you have what I have, and this goes into, let's go into an emotional update. Kind of emotional update. Uh, I'll get into these ups and downs where I'll struggle with, I can slip into a depression, and it'll happen like once a month, but it hasn't happened as bad as it happened last week in a while, where I had to flex my time and things. And um, I made a video talking about being functionally in pain, and I personally like to look up other people talking about depression, talking about being functionally in a depression, and it provides some sort of kind of a catharsis, I guess, to see how other people cope with it, and just seeing people go throughout daily life um, despite having this thing. So that was a comfort. That's what I did last night. Like literally, I didn't go to bed till like 11 to 12 just because I was in a depression. I'll talk about that in a little bit because, you know, I wanted to see like, okay, I want to see how other people cope. And it made me think, okay, maybe I do have a problem. Maybe I do have a bit of a problem when it comes to my depression. So it made me think about talking to my brain guy about that and maybe changing one of my medicines because this has been kind of ongoing. But the thing is, it only happened literally TMI, but not TMI because it's a feelings check-in. It's hormonal too because you'll get into your I'll get into my luteal phase and we'll slip into a depression because the first 2 weeks of this is goes this way all the time. First 2 weeks of the month, I'll be like, wow, I can keep life pretty stable. I can do more than I think I can do. Um, things are going well and okay. Like, I'm pretty content. What was I complaining about? And then third week will come, slip into a depression. Like, generally, you know, slip into a depression, self hate, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And then, fourth week will come, I'll have more anxiety than usual, but my medicine has really helped to stabilize the emotions and things because it used to be worse with like just thoughts of self harm and just like being out of my mind, like emotionally unstable. And so I can't complain. That's actually been a lot better. I'm sorry about that. Um, but yeah, emotion wise, um, that has not changed. It was just worse last week, and I think it's because of the lack of exercise and lack of good eating, and just I'll have these backslides into just I call it dopamine maxing, I guess is what you can call it, where I will just do what I want. Like I'll get into this mindset where I don't feel like doing anything. I don't feel like really moving much. I don't feel like exercising, and so I won't. It's like I don't feel like doing much of anything. Um, and then I'll go like, I want to eat out, and I'll just do it. I'll just eat out and eat out and eat out, eat what I want, do what I want, not exercise, and it'll kind of cause this, you know, exacerbate the depression. It'll make it worse. And that's why I was like, okay, I can't live like this. I've got to get on top of my stuff I've got to clean, I've got to exercise, I've got to function as a human being. And that's what happens. I get into these breaking points, and that's what happened where I'll just that's how I cope in life, where I'll just do these spurts and I'll clean and I'll go back to, you know, I'll get my groceries, I'll go back to drinking my protein drinks, do the things that should be done, and it will feel better for a time. So that's how I'm coping with that right now. Like I try to before my, TMI, before my cycle comes, I try to prepare, like you're preparing for like a bad time to come, and like make sure things are clean, things are organized, because um just to give you a little inkling, give you a little glimpse into life, into my life. Um, there's a girl who posted a video like type A, type A, type B things. She's like type A things that was in the type B person in a coma. Because I'm type B, so I watched it. And she said there's nothing that she can't find in under 10 seconds. I have counted things for lost for some years and found them later in my room and going like, oh my gosh, I finally found this. Like, that's my life. That's literally, I'm like, oh, you found my thing. And like, I'd forget I have it. I'm like, I have this cool thing. And like, it feels like Christmas getting these things again. So just a little indication into, you know, how messy things can get. So that's what I tried to prepare for, because it's aggravating to, I'm really big on like, I want my stuff to be, when I'm working, I want my stuff to be right there. Like, I'm not type A, but when it comes to some things, I just wish I was type A so I could get some things organized. Um, and so it's like I have a type A temperament with a type B personality, and I don't know why. Don't know why. So sorry, sometimes I get kind of off topic too. I think that was the emotional or life check-in. So I think that was more of the emotional check-in. Let's do the life check-in. So life check-in, I talked about how I'm kind of in a numb-ish state, and I've been in these states before when I feel like I messed up in life. Um, I've messed up, like my ADHD is impulsive. So what that means is I do what I like and I like what I do. That's pretty much the long and short of it. Um, that's the long and short of it, but like that really is what that is, and it's hard because your brain just the dopamine is messed up. But also it makes it hard to comprehend things, and it makes it difficult to think ahead. And not I'm not blaming it on that, but it does make those things harder. Like it's not it is my fault, but it's also because like some things are more difficult um in this regard. So so hold on, let me so okay, it does make things a little more difficult. So in the past, I've messed up when it comes to school, when it comes to like enrolling into school and like missing something. And, I have a story about it where I missed something and then just have to wait another year. And that happened again, not recently, but like a couple years ago with an internship, because I got turned down for it for, an internship that was going to be in a department where, a different department from where I work, but in the same organization. And I got turned down for it because I wasn't doing good at work, and that was my fault. And they're like, yeah, you have to wait another year to take this class because you failed the class if you don't find an internship. And so something like that kind of happened again when it came to finances. I'm having to postpone my summer classes. I have 2 classes left, and I have to postpone those classes because of financial things that like, I could have prepared for months ago, but I just didn't want to think about it. I had the money months ago. I just did not want to think about it. And now I'm in a bad situation. Or not, I'm not in a bad situation, just not in the best situation. And literally, this goes into the life update. Well, let me start with, so I think that's part of why I'm in a depression, or I've been in a depression. I spiraled in one, I spiraled into one yesterday evening. It was like 7 p.m. I was like emailing the people going like, hey, like I need to be dropped from the summer classes. And I just kind of spiraled into a depression and just, um, I don't know. I just did not feel well. I was not well and kind of just had to accept it. And so I was like, well, what do I do? And I did exercise, and it doesn't help to not do those things like exercise, keep my room clean. And the hard part about being in a depression is like your brain is just like, I don't care. Like your brain is more apathetic. It doesn't care as much as it usually does. Um, and it's just hard. It's just hard to deal with. And so that's how I am when it comes to life today. Today went well though. Like I was like, okay, really, literally, this is so like, basic information, but literally taking it day by day is what I'm trying to do, seeing how that goes. Like, I was like, okay, just go to bed tonight, wake up tomorrow, have your stuff prepared, laid out for tomorrow. Um, Wake up, get dressed, go to work, and work, like take your medicine, go to work, do what you need to do, and just do that. Like, don't think much of it besides that. And that's like all you can do, right? So that's um that's kind of what I have on like a sorry, my brain. On like the life update. I'm like thinking about I have a friend that said don't do this, but I'm thinking about like taking a second job or doing some kind of second job work for extra money because of messing up. I don't know. I may do DoorDash or whatever. I don't want to do DoorDash. I'd rather, I don't even know. I mean, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do any kind of second job, but I'm not getting the overtime hours that I need. And working overtime was my plan A, and my plan A is not working. So I've got to move on to plan B. And my other side gig isn't working either. So probably gonna have to bite the bullet and figure out like a second job or something, and that kind of thing. And that's okay. I know my friend said no, but sometimes you have to bite the bullet for a time and do the thing. Like I know I don't need a second job forever, but I really think I really think I'm in the place where I might benefit more than one than not. Um, so that's more of the life update. I'm trying to think if I have more of a life update. Um, it's not just school that's making me feel in a numb place. It's like things changing too with roommates and whatnot, and having to consider what to do regarding that. Just things changing kind of make me feel numb, but that kind of goes into my spiritual update. It's only my second day of doing this, but I've been trying to dedicate myself to giving space to the Lord and like praying daily because I do feel some semblance of peace when it comes to what's going to happen and things happening in life and whatnot. It's just when you look at it with human eyes, you're like, oh, what am I going to do? But with spiritual eyes, like, feeling that God's presence just going like, it's okay, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And I'm like, yeah, it's going to be okay. And so I've just been dedicating myself to that. Yesterday when I spiraled into depression, I did some reading of this book I'm reading called The Awe of God, just to get something, you know, good in my brain. That's what I do. I call it like, I don't even know what I call it, spiritual loading, I guess. Or just like, just do everything you can. Pray, um, get some scripture in your head if you do believe this way. Like, just get scripture, get good things in your head. Think of what's noble, good, excellent. It's not supposed to make you feel better, but it's just letting the light in and like praying about it and just clinging to what's good. So yeah, and I think I did the mental check-in too. The mental check-in kind of goes with the emotional check-in. I still have issues when it comes to call anxiety. I when I'm at work, I don't know if that will ever actually go away. I have medicine that I used to cope with it. Is, I'm out of it and I need more, and more is supposed to be coming at some point. I don't know when, but at some point. So I'm just waiting for that. And yeah, like I still use my like timer to check in to do emotional check-ins. I use my timer. Wait, sorry. My brain. I use my timer to help me when it comes to calling people. Like this app right here, this is what I use, and I use it on my phone too. To like, I'll set my timer for 30 minutes and go like, okay, I can make calls for 30 minutes. Or, okay, 30 minutes, I can do this for 30 minutes. And then there's something rewarding about, just a little rewarding about going like, okay, I did it for 30 minutes. And so that's still going well. I used to be bad about taking work home in the way where I'm like, I didn't do a good job because today I only got three people on the phone out of like 10, I think. 10 or 15. I'm not sure. But it was just a day where a lot of people didn't answer the phone, and I can't do anything about that. But I used to take it so. I used to like really feel beat down by that. I'm like, I did not do a good job today. I didn't do a good job, and I could not convince myself otherwise. I'm not meeting my stats. I'm not doing a good job. But I'm not going to lie, and I know I always mention it, but the medicines really helped me to help separate those things and help me to have a life outside of work. Like, I wouldn't be able to. I used to get like so burnt out that I couldn't even spend time with, you know, my roommates after work. I like would get DoorDash, I would eat, and I would like watch something. I would be depressed and, do it again tomorrow. But now I can have like a life, more of a life after work, where I'm not even thinking about work in the same way. Like, it's not an emotional, there's not this emotional dopamine attachment. My dopamine was up and down and like kind of messed up at one point. So I was like literally attached to work in the way where I was like, oh, I need to feel like I did a good job. Like, I need to get this thing out of working. Like, I used to get this kind of workaholic type mental thing, if that makes any sense. Like, kind of borderline like a workaholic type thing where I just got my kicks off of feeling like I did good at work, and you know is why I moved to management that one time. But now I'm in a place where I'm more content with work, where it's like, well, just go to work, do your job, go home. That's all you can do, and that's literally what I have come to, and I'm super glad. I have things that I still struggle with, but it's so much better than it was before, and I'm so glad that I'm at this point. Um, and so yeah, like, and on a mental level regarding the depression, like, I still, my medicines kind of mask my depression when I'm at work, and when I come back, it kind of hits me a bit. So this evening, I'm hoping things will be well. I'm hoping I can just still play games and get my mind off of things. And I had to ask a friend for prayer yesterday, and I'll probably ask for prayer again, and probably just be praying some more. And yeah, I just hope this was encouraging, that there's someone out there trying to functionally live life, and um, despite hard things and emotional regulation issues and spiraling and things. And I really appreciate all of you. If you made it to this point, you are awesome. I really appreciate you. I really want to do a feelings check-in at least once a week again. I hope you enjoy this background and you enjoy this feelings check-in. I'll be doing more videos, I think, this evening where I'm playing games and just talking and conversating. So please check into those and I will see you soon. Oh, you should check out my if you're this doesn't unsettle you, you should check out my what's the game? Tormented Souls is what I've been playing. You should check that out. Um, that's been fun to do, and I've been hesitant to go back to it because it is scary, but I do want to play more this evening. So yeah, please check that out and hang out with me. I will see y'all soon. Thank you again. I really appreciate you. Bye.